Horns up guys and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Now if you watched my keto day of eating vlogs, you would have seen that I had some pork ribs in my freezer. And we're gonna cook those today. So I've got some pork ribs here. This is complete with every part of it. I have no idea how to cook these like this because I've never bought it whole. I've always bought it pre-cut. So today is going to be an experiment to see how to cook this, and I'm going to be doing a Vindaloo pork rib. Now, Vindaloo pork rib, whoa, what's that all about? Now, I'm going to be using a store-bought Vindaloo paste today, and that's just because I'm feeling lazy and it's a lot of work to make your own paste at home. Now, this paste does have about 7.5 grams of carbs per 100 grams. So we're only going to be using about 40 grams of the paste, which means you're getting about 3 to 4 carbs, plus a lot of it is going to cook off the ribs, and it's just going to be salt, pepper in this paste. And this paste has, let me tell you, it has chilies, red chilies, natural vinegar, ginger, garlic, spices, sugar and salt. Now obviously it's not got too much sugar because the amount of carbs in it via sugars is very little, but if you can make it at home on your own without the sugar, fantastic. Anyway, enough talking. Let me go and attempt to make these ribs, and let's hope they come out okay. So the first thing that I decided to do was remove the skin from the ribs so that I could make some pork crackling later on with it. Of course, I tried and neither my knife skills nor my knife were up to the task. So make sure next time you try something like this, you have a very sharp knife or get your butcher to do it, because he's the professional and you're not. Anyway, after some struggle, I flipped the ribs over and tried to remove the membrane that's on the bones. Now there is a little membrane there which you should be able to pull off actually in one go. I guess it was just not my day. So I struggled and finally managed to get that off. I turned the ribs over once again and attempted to remove the skin, and finally gave up halfway through. I figured I might as well just marinate the pork and get on with it. So I started by seasoning it with some salt, and then I just rubbed on that Vindaloo paste. And make sure when you rub it on, you rub it into all the nooks and crannies of the pork. You want that flavor to get in and get all around. Anyway, the next step is to marinate the pork for 24 hours. Anyway, I have a small confession to make. I didn't marinate it for 24 hours because I was in a hurry to get this episode done. I also decided to cook this in the pressure cooker because I would lose daylight if I cooked it in the oven for a good 2 to 3 hours, and the pressure cooker gets it done in 30 to 40 minutes tops. So I said to myself, let's do this in the pressure cooker. So I put in that pork, covered the lid and pressure cooked it for 30 minutes. Once your pork is pressure cooked, just remove it from the pan. Now once again I tried to be a hero and I tried to butcher the pork myself. I tried to remove the skin, which I managed to do, but as I tried to cut the meat off it, oh my god, what a disaster. I ended up with some chunks of meat. Well, thankfully everything was cooked all the way through. The pork was moist and juicy, the bones came right off, but I was just such a big boo-boo while butchering the pork. It's so bad I butchered the pork in reality, like I butchered the pork while butchering it. Anyway, learn the lesson, always let the butcher do it, or well, don't film it whenever you're trying something like this. Anyway, the pork is now ready, and I'm going to take some of those pieces and just give them a quick fry in the pan. Give it a little bit of salt maybe if I need some, and voila, it's done. My pork ribs are ready. Yum yum yum. Alright guys, so the worst has actually happened. I had filmed myself tasting the pork and my computer corrupted the file while transferring it. It's really been an awful day, as you can see, but let me give you a review of the ribs. The pork ribs did taste very good. Of course, yes, I would make 2 changes to what I did. One is I would marinate it 24 hours and actually let it sit for the full 24 hours so all the flavors seep in. I would also let my butcher do the butchering, and I would cook individual ribs rather than the whole rack, because that way the flavor gets into all the ribs. Having said that, the pork ribs were still amazing. I mean, you can't go wrong with pork. Pork is just one of the tastiest meats. The delicious fat, the meat was falling off the bone. So it was tender, it was juicy, and pan frying it gave it a little crispy edge. So all in all, I was fairly happy with the rib recipe, but of course, you know the improvements now. So I hope you will make it at home. I hope you will not make the same mistakes I did. I hope you will not be too harsh with me in the comments, and I promise you I will be back with an even better rib recipe soon enough. So till the next episode, cheers and keep cooking.